Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a girl called Little Red Riding Hood. She was called Little Red Riding Hood because she always wore a bright crimson cloak. One day, she decided to go and visit her old grandma. "Here you are, Little Red Riding Hood," said her mother. "A basket of bread, cake, crisps, meat, sweets and biscuits for Grandma. Now go quickly through the woods, keep to the path and don't stop to play with the rabbits." "I won't, Mother. Bye." And Little Red Riding Hood set off. Grandma lived in a little cottage on the other side of the big dark wood, and the only way to get there was to go through it. In the woods lived a mean and scary wolf. He watched Little Red Riding Hood as she walked along the path. Two little rabbits popped out to say hello. "Hello, little rabbits." And just then the wolf leapt out from behind a tree. "Hello, little girl, and where might you be going?" said the wolf. "Oh, hello, Mr. Wolf. I'm on my way to visit my grandma in her cottage on the edge of the wood." "Aha! Would your grandma like some pretty flowers? There are some just over there by that holly bush." "I can't go over there. Mother told me to stay on the path," said Little Red Riding Hood. "It will only take a couple of extra minutes. Wouldn't it be worth it to put a smile on dear old grandmother's face, huh?" "You're right, Mr. Wolf. Grandmother deserves the best." "Wonderful. Follow me." With Little Red out of sight, the wolf ran ahead to Grandma's cottage. When he arrived, he knocked on the door. "Little Red Riding Hood, is that you?" called Grandma. The wolf pretended to be Little Red Riding Hood to trick the poor old lady. "Yes, Grandma, it's me." "The door's open, you can come right in." So in he went. Just then Little Red Riding Hood arrived. The wolf pretended to be Little Red Riding Hood's grandma to trick her. "Come in." When Little Red Riding Hood entered the cottage, she knew something was wrong. "Grandma?" "Come closer, my dear." "Oh, Grandma, what a deep voice you have." "All the better to greet you with, my dear." "Oh, Grandma, what big eyes you have." "All the better to see you with, my dear." "Oh, Grandma, what big ears you have." "All the better to hear you with, my dear." "Oh, Grandma, what big teeth you have." "All the better to eat you with, my dear." "Mr. Wolf, please don't eat me," cried Little Red Riding Hood. "Where's my grandma?" Little Red Riding Hood heard knocking. She opened the wardrobe door and found her dear old grandma. "We have to find a way to get out, Little Red Riding Hood." "I have an idea." You two are going to make a delicious dinner," said the wolf. "Surely you're not going to eat us right away?" "What do you mean?" Little Red Riding Hood knew exactly how to trick the wolf. "It wouldn't be a very good dinner without some appetizers first, would it? There's plenty of food in my basket." "Yes, what a great idea." The wolf grabbed Little Red Riding Hood's basket and began stuffing his face. He ate all the cake and all the biscuits and all the bread and all the sausages. The wolf was now very, very full and very, very fat. Blech. And he was very, very tired. "I think I'll take a nap before eating you two." Let's go before he wakes up. Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother ran away, but the wolf woke up.
Stop!
Run, Granny, run! The wolf fell over the little bunnies and landed in the holly bush.
Ow! Oh!
The wolf had learnt his lesson and never tried to outsmart a little girl again. Little Red Riding Hood had tricked the wolf, and her and her grandmother made it home safely. Little Red swore to never stray from the path again and to not talk to strangers. But she would still stop to play with the bunnies.
Hansel and Gretel. Once there was a poor woodcutter who lived with his 2 children, Hansel and Gretel, in a little cottage. They were so poor that they only had a small piece of stale bread for breakfast. He also lived with their stepmother, who was wicked and greedy and had an evil plan.
We have no food. Your children are no good to us. They're just extra mouths to feed. You must take Hansel and Gretel into the forest and leave them there.
But I can't.
Listen. If they're as clever as you say they are, they'll find someone to feed them. They must go.
The children overheard this, and Hansel whispered,
Don't worry, Gretel. I have a plan.
So Hansel and Gretel followed their father deeper and deeper into the forest. And Hansel put his plan into action. He dropped some crumbs of bread so that they would be able to find their way home. Right, children, here's a good place for you to rest while I go and chop some wood. The poor woodcutter hugged his children, shed a tear, and then walked away, knowing that he would never see them again.
Don't worry, Gretel. We'll get home later by following the crumbs I've dropped. But we'll wait until tea time when Father will be back at home.
So Hansel and Gretel waited in the forest, and along came a duck.
Quack, 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 quack.
The little duck wanted to play with the children. First, Gretel played with the little duck. Then Hansel played with the little duck. And then they both played with the little duck. They played chase with the little duck. They played hide and seek with the little duck. They played and played all afternoon until they were so tired that they lay down and fell asleep. Night fell, and soon the moon came up. Up, up, up it went, up into the night sky.
Hansel, wake up! It's night time! However will we get home? We'll follow the breadcrumbs. The moon will help us see them. Come on.
They searched for the breadcrumbs that Hansel had dropped, but there wasn't a crumb of bread to be seen.
I think the little duck has eaten them all up. We'll have to walk until we find somewhere to stay for the night, Gretel.
And they set off. Suddenly, in the distance, they saw a house all lit up.
Come on.
And when they reached the little house, they discovered that it was made of gingerbread and sweets and chocolates and biscuits and all kinds of delicious things.
I'm sure the owner of this house won't mind if we just have a tiny bit of gingerbread.
But the door flew open.
Well, well, well. Hello, little children. How lovely to see you. Do come inside and get warm. You'll be perfectly safe here with me.
And in they went. But as soon as they were inside, the kind old woman said,
Ha! I've tricked you. You thought I was a kind old woman, but in fact, I'm a witch. A witch? A hungry witch. And I've been waiting for some children to come along so I can gobble them up.
And she began to laugh. And she laughed so much that she toppled backwards and fell into the fire.
Quack, 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 quack. Look, there's our little duck. He'll know the way home because he ate all the bread that you dropped.
So the children followed the little duck, who led them all the way back to their cottage. And soon they were reunited with their father. "I'm so happy to see you. But how did you find your way home?"
Quack, 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 quack. It's a long story.
Well, the good news is that your wicked stepmother has left. So from now on, it'll be just the three of us.
Quack, quack, quack. You mean the four of us? Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack.